where the moon lights.
An excellent day for an exorcism.
I'm your number one fan.
Hey up, and welcome back to another edition of your latest horror roundup, and I have a good few bits to go through today, so let's get straight into it. First up, we are fresh off the back of the Academy Awards, and thank God The Substance actually won one. It was nominated for 5 Oscars at the Academy Awards, which is a rare feat for the horror genre. However, the bad news is it didn't end up winning Best Picture. But it is officially an Oscar-winning film because it did pick up the Oscar for Best Makeup and Hairstyling, which I think is fantastic because the makeup is exceptional in The Substance. And I love that there are people that still haven't seen this film that I get to introduce them to. Friends, family. It's always going to be top of my recommendations list, even more so now that it is award-winning. There were a team of artists who worked on the makeup and hairstyling for the film, including Pierre-Olivier Persin, Stephanie Guillon and Marilyn Scarcelli, and it was Pierre-Olivier Persin that gave the acceptance speech for the award, where he actually thanked director Coralie Faja for her love of makeup and practical effects. Now, some people in the horror community have been talking about the fact that The Substance won an award as being a sign of things to come for the horror genre, but I really wouldn't hold my breath. Yes, we had more nominations as a genre than maybe we have previously, especially spread out across multiple films, with Nosferatu and Alien Romulus also being nominated for awards. But there have been wins in recent years. Notably, we had Godzilla Minus One. They won for Best Visual Effects in 2023. Get Out won for Original Screenplay in 2018. Wolfman debatably won for Best Makeup in 2010. And then Sleepy Hollow won Best Art Direction in 2000. So that's from the last 25 years. So I don't think The Substance winning an Academy Award is a sign of things to come, and maybe we should just rely on award programs like Fangoria Chainsaw Awards and the Saturn Awards as proper genre award programs. The other thing that I do want to mention about the Academy Awards before I move on, fuck the Academy Awards for not mentioning Tony Todd in their in memoriam section, along with a number of other actors that have recently passed away that are huge in the horror community. But Tony Todd especially, I find absolutely bananas. So a big fuck you to the Academy. Next up, more big fuck yous, and that is to Scream 7, which is just, I cannot wrap my head around, because it has been confirmed that David Arquette is returning to Scream 7 as Dewey Riley, who was famously killed off in Scream back in 2022. How the hell is this happening? Because we've already got Matthew Lillard coming back as Stu Macker. We've got Scott Foley coming back as Roman Bridger. All these people are supposedly killed off based on the previous films. It's just getting weird now, and it's just getting stupid. And again, I go back to the only 2 conclusions that I think we can come to with this dog shit of a film is that either it is going to be a bit of a new nightmare situation where the actors are playing themselves in a stab movie and they start to get killed off by a ghost face, or the one that I'm less keen on, which is some form of AI, because Scream has been known to be very relevant, very self-aware, and I think unfortunately they are probably going to go down that route, but it just feels desperate at this point to try and get bums in seats. And I am certainly in 2 minds as to whether I'm going to go see this film. If you're interested, it comes out on the 27th of February next year, so you have got a whole year to wait and probably a whole year of even more terrible announcements. Moving on to something a little bit more positive, at least I think so. So there are rumours coming directly from Amanda Seyfried that there is going to be a sequel to Jennifer's Body. Now, Jennifer's Body really did not land well. It was a bit of a commercial failure when it released in 2009, but it has gained a bit of a cult following. It is a massively feminist film. I have so much love for this film. Amanda Seyfried starred alongside Megan Fox, who was the titular character of Jennifer. And recently, at a Toronto screening of Seven Veils, Amanda Seyfried said, "I think we're making another one." And then she said, "I didn't confirm it. I said, I think." And then she winks and says, "We're working on it." And we also had the writer of Jennifer's Body, Diablo Cody, who told Bloody Disgusting last year that she really wants to make a sequel. And she said, I'm not done with Jennifer's Body. I need to partner with people who believe in it as much as I do. And that really hasn't happened yet. I need someone to believe in it who has $1 billion. Now, I was that person up until that last line. Unfortunately, I do not have $1 billion, but surely there has got to be someone out there who can support Diablo Cody with this sequel. Fingers crossed. And now a few things that we've had some sneaky peeks of. Firstly, Alien Earth. So it's getting a special activation at South by Southwest this week. And the creator Noah Hawley has said that Alien Earth deals with the emergence of the story's famous Weyland-Yutani Corporation and the race between corporations to create new android life. And we've got 5 corporations: Prodigy, Weyland-Yutani, Lynch, Dynamic, and Threshold, and they wield the power of the nations and proprietary advancements in technology, providing the promise of a new tomorrow. But when a mysterious space vessel crash lands on Earth, a young woman and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a fateful discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat. And we even got a sneak peek of the Xenomorph in the latest little teaser trailer. So very, very exciting. Speaking of trailers, we have a new trailer for Jason Blumhouse's The Woman in the Yard. Now, I make no bones about the fact that I will shit on any Blumhouse film at any given opportunity. They mostly churn out terrible, terrible horror films with a few little gems in the mix. I have a feeling this might actually be a little gem because this latest trailer gave me the creeps massively. The film releases on the 28th of March, so we've only got a few weeks to wait now. And the trailer gives us this glimpse of this very creepy, mysterious entity that is under this black veil sat in the yard saying, "Today's the day." And like I predicted, it seems to be that this film is playing on a family dealing with grief. It sounds like they've lost their father. I can only predict that maybe the woman in the yard is potentially a representation of that grief coming to get them. But the plot for the film says Ramona assumes the woman is lost or demented, but as the woman creeps nearer and nearer to the house, it becomes clear she is no ordinary figure and her intentions are anything but peaceful. Now Ramona must rally to protect herself and her children from the grasp of the woman who simply won't leave them alone. I hate to say it, I'm kind of excited for this film, and obviously I will drop a review once I've been to see it. Now for something a little bit different, The Surfer we have had a trailer for, which is Nicolas Cage's latest film, and it comes from director Lorcan Finnegan, who also did Vivarium and Nocebo, and it's set to head to theatres this spring and comes from Lionsgate and Roadside Attractions. Now, we can see in the trailer Nicolas Cage doing what he does best, which is a bit of a bonkers freak out. And he's playing a man who absolutely loses his head after a gang of local surfers decide to make his life a living hell. The official synopsis is when a man, Nicolas Cage, returns to his beachside hometown in Australia many years since building a life for himself in the US, he is humiliated in front of his teenage son by a local gang of surfers who claim strict ownership over the secluded beach of his childhood. Wounded, he decides to remain at the beach, declaring war against those in control of the bay. As the conflict escalates, the stakes spin out of control, taking him to the edge of sanity. Definitely seems a weird one, but I have the biggest crush on Nicolas Cage, so obviously my bum is going to be in my seat watching this film. Next up, we also got a bit of a tease for the latest Fear Street film, which is Fear Street Prom Queen. And this film is coming to Netflix on the 23rd of May this year, and we also have some really cool looking posters that have been released to support the film. And the synopsis for the film is welcome back to Shadyside. In this next installment of the blood-soaked Fear Street franchise, prom season at Shadyside High is underway and the school's wolf pack of it girls is busy with its usual sweet and vicious campaigns for the crown. But when a gutsy outsider is unexpectedly nominated to the court, the other girls start mysteriously disappearing. the class of 88 is suddenly in for one hell of a prom night. Now, I was born in 1988, so I've got a tiny little attachment to this film, but I generally love 80s vibe horror, so I am absolutely excited for this one. And then lastly, I want to talk about a film that I have already watched, but it hasn't released yet, but it is due to release in the next couple of days in Canada and the US and on the 21st of March in the UK, and it's called The Island Between Tides. Now, I got to watch this last year thanks to a film festival I was providing coverage for, Film Quest in Utah, and this is based on a novel by the same author as Peter Pan, J.M. Barrie. The novel is called Mary Rose, and in the film we see someone called Lily who follows a mysterious melody onto a remote tidal island. But when she crosses back over at the next low tide, she emerges into a world where decades have passed. This is a really odd film. It's very, very slow burn. You're not going to get jump scares with this type of film. But really interesting. I really enjoyed it thoroughly. So I am planning on going to see this again when it gets a theatrical release in a few weeks' time. Let me know if that sounds like something you would be into as well. So that is it for this week's horror news. Let me know in the comments if I've missed anything or if there's anything you want me to cover on future episodes. But other than that, sithee with this then. I'll see thee soon.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
I'll be right back.
Game over. It's all for you.
Beware the moonlights.
An excellent day for an exorcism.
I'm your number one fan.